Come in, I'm Coorie Doon as we visit my green, witchy forest island of Frìth. So I just finished this island after originally starting it just before New Year, and I did most of the work, I want to say up until like March, April time, but there's a few things that I left unfinished for absolutely ages, and I only just completed all of that in the last few weeks. It's now time to show you this island and let you have the dream address to go and explore yourself. So the dream address details will be on screen and down below as per usual. So I am visiting my island using my Laurie from Coorie character, just so you can see what the dream address looks like in all of its glory. Before we get into anything else, as always, we are going to start by checking the island map. So this is the island map. You can see there's a lot of terraforming, waterscaping. That was a main goal for this island. I really wanted to fill it with loads of water and just like try something a bit different, because I always kind of have the same sort of island feel like. In terms of villagers and residents, so we have my main character Laurie, then we have Fiante, Drake, Eunice, Cali, Fang, Kitty, Samson, Hazel, Shino, Julian and Ione. So all the villager houses plus the resident homes are decorated, so do go and check them out, as I'm not going to be popping into them during this tour. I'll leave some things for you to check out yourself, and yeah, I don't want to ruin all the magic for you. So I did leave some presents by resident services, so you can get some cute outfits before you get exploring. And let's check out my little island flag. I wanted to do something, but I wasn't entirely sure for the longest time, so I just decided to do kind of a landscape with the name on the... So this is the entrance. I really wanted quite a simple entrance with some water but not a bridge, and I just really wanted it to kind of have that general feeling of the island, so the glowingness, the moss, ruined items, etc., but without it feeling overdone, I guess. But we also do have our little squeakoid friend up there on the cliff, and I love how it's positioned with the moss balloon behind it. It makes it look like the squeakoid is holding it, and I just think it's so cute. But to begin this tour, we are going to go to the right hand side. So going this way is probably the easiest way to get to resident services when you first, well, get from resident services to the entrance when you first come. So this is where the presents will be for you, and yeah, just come across the bridge and go to the left. So we have this little plant shop. Really love this. I just wanted a way to kind of display all the new plant stuff, I guess, and this was such a good like kind of way to do that. So we have the paradise planning, we have the plant pots, and like just so many of the new items. I love it. And then on the beach, we have the start of the farmyards connected into my house. So my house is just above here. We have some wheat fields, pumpkins, potatoes, sugarcane on the beach. And we also do, on the left hand side, have this kind of field of broken purple, black and white flowers. Normally I see people doing similar to this for like a strawberry field or a strawberry patch, but I wanted to use purple to kind of make it look more witchy, and maybe kind of as like blackberries or something instead. So that's why we've gone for that. This general area, like the actual land, was probably the first thing I decorated from 2.0. I really wanted to play around with the new 2.0 items, so that is why we've got so much like farmy stuff and all the wheat fields, because the wheat fields are the best, to be fair. But yeah, this is my house. Definitely go in and check it out. There, all the rooms are done, and I think I did some of my best interior designs inside, so check that out. And then heading back up to resident services, we just have this cute little like seating area that encloses resident services. I wanted it to feel overgrown without feeling too much or completely hiding resident services, since it is a gathering place for all the villagers. And then on the right hand side we have a little seating area and just some like more plants and stuff. Again, we got so spoiled with 2.0 with all like the greenery, so I really wanted to make use of it. And further over we have a little campsite and even more covered wagons. So there's a lot of lore I kind of made up during the streams and stuff of this island, and that is mainly to do with the gyroids. So the gyroids got added in 2.0 and I love them so much. They're just so cute. But we have my character here. So the magic, it grows, glows. Which one is it? So I do have some lore around this island that I kind of created on the lead up of making this island, and also like during streaming of it. So basically the intent of the island was that it was this kind of growing villagey kind of town, and then it just changed. It got dark, it got cold, and the island just started to like feel differently, and then an area opened up and all this glowing powder started coming out, and it was this really intense kind of smell and magic, and nobody really knew what it was until all the gyroids turned up. The gyroids took their learnings of magic and shared it with the residents on the island. So some of them are a little bit more predisposed to the magic and took it on. Others have just kind of continued their like regular farmy ways, or like their elegant owner of the land kind of vibes. You'll probably get that as you walk around yourself, but I really wanted to give everybody kind of an aspect of this. So let me know down below what you think of each character. What are they kind of exploring, or are they even exploring anything? So let me know. All their houses have been kind of like updated to reflect that as well. So on this peninsula, I really wanted to use one of these gazebos. I think this item is so beautiful. It's just really annoying that you can't put anything underneath it. I just think it would be amazing if you could. But instead I made this little like custom design rug blanket that is meant to be like a place where you can kind of sit right by the water's edge and practice your magic, speak to the energies around you. And I thought it really helped kind of give this a bit more of an enclosed space. Like it kind of made it more seem like the person was sitting underneath the gazebo with like their stuff around them. That was the idea anyway. So one thing on this island that's really important to know is that a lot of the codes I have made myself. I will put all the details that I can about codes in the description below, and I might even try and do a video at some point with all the codes I used on this island, because there's a lot of varying ones, and even like my own codes that I used on this island come from a few different maker codes as well, so it kind of helps to know where they're all coming from. So coming up here we have this really lovely lookout spot. I honestly still think it's one of my favorite areas on the island. But yeah, we have this like kind of floating island in the middle. There's loads of like castle ruins around, the waterfalls, and this time of day I just think it makes it look so spooky and moody. But even during the daytime it looks incredible as well. And then we have this magic witchy spot with a gravestone. I spot is more for somebody trying to like reach the dead, trying to communicate with loved ones or something. That was the kind of vibe in the story that I was doing. And we have a land bridge coming across here which comes to Cali's house, which was one of the very first things we built on stream for this island. But it is Cali. Her house is this beautiful green. I didn't touch the exterior for her at all. She really was like a huge inspo for this island as well, just because she is such a beautiful character. Her house is incredible. So I thought she was perfect for this why do I keep saying bitchy? This witchy vibes. And then yeah, all the way around her house is just like more glowing moss, giant vines, ruins, etc. It just really gives this kind of like old castle ground vibe, I think. One thing to note, there's a few areas around the island that you can get up onto and they have really pretty views. You should be able to just climb up them using a ladder. There's a ladder provided within the initial gift, so maybe try and see what else you can find during it. And then if we go round this little pond beside Cali's house, we have just loads more ruined castle items, pillars, arches, etc. As well as more glowing moss, glowing balloons and giant vines. I really did just want it to have this entire overgrown kind of aesthetic, even with like the dropped mushrooms and acorns. I wanted it to feel so natural. And then we're gonna head over on the left hand side, even more covered wagons and gnomes. They also came and joined the island after the gyroids. And I tried to cover every little space on the island with something relating to magic. So we have cauldrons and caves and just like random magic-y bits. So let me know what you think of everything together. I really do love this island. I think it is my favorite by far. I love how everything came together, the colors, the terraforming, etc. So this is our blue, purple, white and black flower field with little ponds breaking up. This is one of the parts of the island that I feel like really got opened up and kind of destroyed when the magic hit. So if we have a look out, you can see all those ponds, and this is where I kind of imagine some of the earth cracked and the water just flowed right in and destroyed the original castle grounds that were here. But the flowers took over, the magic gave it a new sense of life with nature, and that even carried up to here where we have a little farm patch of pumpkins. Because of the 2.0 update, there's a lot of like farm bits and crops on this island. I really love the crops and I love decorating with them, so that's why I made sure to have as many of them as possible, even though a lot of them are still just pumpkins, but that doesn't matter, they're still pretty. So on the castle towers we have a couple more little gyroid friends, and there's more lore about these two specifically on the Discord, so if you're not in there, definitely go over, check it out, read up on the lore around the island. Thank you to the community members who helped write that up, even though those gyroids in particular kind of creep me out. Their arms are very, very jiggly. And then if we come back down this incline to the right, we have another pumpkin patch. So this actually combines to the one above it. I just wanted to connect them to make it kind of look like it's flowed over from the top down into that other layer, kind of like the water pushed it. Hello, Hazel. And then over this way we have Eunice's house. So she has this little simple setup here, but she also has this like lavender field, and I just love how this flows up to the purple and blue flower fields as well. I also really wanted this double incline moment, especially to have like an incline going backwards. I just think they look so pretty. And then you can even go behind Eunice's house, just follow the path and take a walk around, and you get another really pretty view up here of the pathway to the secret beach. Some of the views might be a little bit better once there's a bit more light in the sky, but this is just how it is at the moment while I'm going around. But do maybe take a little bit of time and go slowly around the island, especially when you're going in between the houses and stuff. It should get daylight very quickly. You might just need to take a little bit of time. Then if we head down this incline, we're gonna go towards resident services again. So we have Fang's house here, and I gave him this glowing moss farm. I just thought like the glowing moss items are so pretty. I really wanted to showcase some of like the natural looking glowing moss items. So we have just some dropped glowing moss, which I'm so glad still glows when it's dropped like that. Some placed in different heights, and we have the glowing moss stool, and I have a few other bits of glowing moss that I just wanted to decorate with as well. And inside Fang's house, his house kind of is a shrine to that glowing moss and like more of a shop merchant. And then we have Kitty's house. She's just like a kind of a traveling merchant, I guess, that's set up in the middle of this field, but it really suits her, and I love all the flowers on this bit as well. So a lot of the island has these like kind of wiggly paths all the way around. So I hope the island is pretty easy to navigate, but there's a lot of winding and intertwining paths. But I think that kind of adds to the whimsy of the overall island. And then going past Drake's house, you can hop over here to the little lookout section, which I think looks so pretty when you're right up and close, and you get to see a lot more of the detail. And Drake's house here, he has a few of the gyroids hanging out. They're just, they're hanging out, they're chilling, they're good friends with Drake, having a great time. And then, as I was saying before, the intertwining path, so you can go this way and that takes you to the incline behind resident services, or you can continue going down and that'll take you to the front of resident services and the front of Kitty's garden, and it also takes you to this bridge that leads you back to the entrance. So if we hop back this way, we're going to go left now, and we'll head onto this beach, which has been decorated to look like a kind of drop off point almost, especially because Hazel behind us is definitely a lover of exquisite things. I do hope to have a few people tour this island just so they can get their own perspectives in and see what they think of the island too. But this one in particular I decorated a little bit as a meme. So yeah, let's see if how they think when they visit and see this area. I'll put links to people who tour the island down below as well if you want to go and see from other perspectives and maybe see some of the interiors without visiting yourself. So heading back, we're just going to go up this way and it'll actually take us to this little witchy potion spot above Hazel's house. I don't really know if this is done by Hazel or if somebody else is just taking this area. I didn't really think about it. But I love this little area. I think this is probably like my favorite kind of micro area of the whole island. I just think it came together so well, and it's really not that big. It's like, I want to say like a 5x5 square almost, but it just fills in the area so nicely and it features a lot of the new items, so I think it looks really cool. And again, we have this little pond and another covered wagon. I really did just want it to feel so like filled with merchants and travelers around the island, just really busy and lived in. So and here's another pathway that connects, and we have this little ducky friend. But I just am so in love with the items that we got from 2.0. I would have never been able to create such an island like this without it. It's so pretty. And here we have the campsite. This definitely looks a lot better when you have a campsite, like when the campsite building tent is actually up, but it's still cool like this. I definitely feel like it looks so natural here. I really want it to seem built into the land, like it was meant to be here, even with a few villager houses behind it and around it. I think it just feels, I don't know, like it's taking up its own space. It's like it's enclosed, it's just natural, I guess. And then to the right we'll come upon Julian's house. So Julian has this other custom design that I made and some more glowing bits and a star fragment. So you can definitely tell he loves his crystals and more glowy stuff, as do I, which Nintendo, would you have please given us more like crystal items? I think that would look so beautiful in the game. Like compared with like the star fragments and everything, I just think it could have been done so well. And then this pathway to the secret beach is where I like to think that the magic really took over, because we have this combination, almost clash of colors between the orange and yellow flowers and then the blue and the purple, almost split right down the middle of this pathway. And I really love how this turned out. I just think everything works together and is balanced so well, and I love that it's like this almost kind of enclosed pathway to the beach as well. It's my favorite. And then for the secret beach itself, I really just wanted it to seem like it'd been offloaded by maybe Red or something. So we've just got some like maps, some knickknacks, bottles, trash, etc. I love the little lantern. It's so cute, just swinging around when you're walking around the island. Okay, and then we're gonna head back across this bridge and go towards the market area, shopping market thing, yes. And we're gonna go back through this way, but this time we're gonna go to the left, and the first thing to show is there's a little pathway here, and it doesn't really go anywhere. It just goes to the side of this wall, but it is a castle gate, so you can kind of peek into it. And I like to think that this is actually more of like a kind of Edinburgh vaults kind of situation where you can go underneath the ground. It's just a little detail that I thought was kind of cute. We get round to Hazel's house again, and we're gonna go across this bridge, and we'll go down onto the beach first. So we have the other villager house here, well, tent I should say, and it's just meant to be kind of like a researcher. They've got all like their plants and bits and bobs, and that is what this other one, the kids tent, is meant to be, because we do have Blather's tent up here, and he is technically part of that kind of shopping market area, but I wanted him to be a little bit separated, kind of more like he was just popping up for a little while and then he's going to be on his go again, and maybe they'll see him in a few months' time. So he has a lot of bugs, fossils, more of like a researcher for sure, but I definitely think it fits this whole aesthetic. It gives that kind of more adventurer vibe, maybe like he heard about the magic come to the island, was like, right, I need to get there now and just see what is going on. Coming up to the market opening, we have more covered wagons. This is meant to be like an offloading place. They're just emptying the covered wagons so they can unload them and then take them up the stairs to the market. And we have a little food stall here. I definitely can imagine maybe somebody has drank a bit too much and just nibbling on that bread, you know. And then if we go up here, we have ables and nooks. So a lot of stalls with some just like mixes of knickknacks, witchy stuff, potions, ingredients, another little food stall, and some like pottery and art, maybe even some spooky containers to withhold some certain magic spells, who knows. So going through the left hand side beside the Nook's Cranny, we have another gate and we come across this little wishing well. I love these, especially with like the drop money to throw into the pond and see if you can get your wishes to come true. Now if you follow the path onwards, we come to Shino's house. She has a gyroid farm. Obviously the gyroid's really grown, but I like to think that this is the place that they've really come to know as their maturing grounds. Like this is where they can sit and pull the magic. This is where it is really strong for them. And then the market comes back around and you can go this way. But I like kind of splitting off with this little tiny river. I just think it kind of helps the flow a bit and kind of pushes you to go in certain directions. But when you're here, make sure to go up behind the archway, and there's a ladder up here as well, which gives you another really beautiful view in my opinion. It looks over at that campsite, the river down below, and this little land bridge with Ione's house in the background. I just think the shadows and the built up nature just looks incredible here, and I think it just really adds again to that vibe and mysteriousness. Hey little squeak boy. But yeah, we have this other land bridge. Obviously I have the one on the right hand side, almost like exactly on the other side of the map, but I really did want to make them feel super different. I didn't want them to feel samey, and I really like how this one turned out. This is the one that I did first, and I love how much more overgrown and natural it is versus that one. That one I think is definitely like a more traveled road, even though it has some trees in the middle. Make it make sense. But I definitely think this is more like an escape bit. Like I don't think many people would know about this one, hence more of the kind of weeds and flowers and wheat fields, you know. And if we go down this incline, we come to Ione's house, and she has this full-on setup, research, and even a telescope to check out those stars. She really does have the best view for them, and I think she might find some interesting things. And I take the incline going down again. Here is where I would imagine that the island broke open and the magic started to come out through this glowing moss pond. I love this item so much. I love the way it sparkles and I like the little porous materials that come out of it. And of course we have some more gyroids hanging around here. They really want it to be the center of attention, you know? I love how this area has a lot of different light sources with the glowing moss, the star fragments, even like the Festivale lamps. It makes the area shine so beautifully. And you can even go behind and do a little more research on the rock as well. So if we head back down, we're gonna go towards Blather's tent again and have a look on the beach further around as well. Don't really know why I went this way, probably a bit of a longer way, but never mind. So I did really want to keep a lot of the beaches natural, but when I started putting stuff down this first time, I definitely went a little bit overboard with all the different items. There's so many good ones that I think can be used on the beaches to add even a bit more of that kind of overgrown natural vibes to it. So of course I had to use some of the crops, the glowing moss, the wheat fields, and our regular weeds and flowers. I just think it looks so pretty. And then we obviously have some Rune pillars as well because they just fit the aesthetics. And I love these, I can't remember what they're called, glowing moss boulders. They just look like little bumps in the stone. Absolutely perfect. And we have another little traveling merchant here as well. And then we have some more gravestones leading up to this gyroid doing some magic. And a creepy cave. Wonder what's going on down there. I really would love if Animal Crossing gave us like caves that we could explore. I just think that combined with like crystals would be incredible. Imagine like having so many different ores that we could find, like sapphires or emeralds. Please Nintendo, let me just like give you my ideas. I don't care if you take them for free. I just want it. So that's the island exterior visited and looked around. Obviously, definitely go and check it out yourself to see all the interiors and all the homes. But maybe I'll do a little follow-up at a later point with the interiors because I do want there to be something for you all to explore and find yourself. So let me know down in the comments below what your favourite areas of the island are, and if you're gonna go visit yourself, or if you've been visiting alongside me this entire time, let me know. But if you enjoyed this island tour and you loved me explaining kind of the ins and outs of it, definitely make sure to like, comment down below and subscribe because I have more island themes coming up and I'm really excited for the next one, and I hope to do a little island trailer idea concept video, so that should hopefully come out in the next few weeks. So make sure you're subscribed for that and for the future island decorating streams that we'll be doing as well, because I'm really excited about that process. We'll be deleting this island save data so I can completely start a new island, which I'm so excited about. But until the next video or stream, stay safe, stay cozy, Slanja. Bye!